Hey guys, what's going on? Vega here from Serpent X Special Forces, and today I want to talk to you about the AsRock Challenger RX 5700. It's the non-XT model, but it performs quite well in its price bracket, and I want to compare it against the reference design as well as see how the temperatures do, the core clocks, memory clocks, using the software power play tables or the more power tool, and kind of compare against the reference design, which I have traded up from. So let's switch over to the main system so I can show you a couple things and give you my final thoughts of this particular product so you can make an informed buy or an informed decision. Alright, so now that we're switched over to the main system, as you can see, this is the color scheme of the card. And unfortunately, while it doesn't go well with my system, the black, silver, and yellow may go well in yours. I'm not sure. So if this color scheme does not work for you, then you may want to look elsewhere. But the performance of the card as far as cooling and noise output is perfectly adequate and fine, especially considering the price. It sucks that it doesn't have a dual BIOS switch, which is why I would recommend getting a Power Color or Sapphire card, because they have a dual BIOS, same type of cooling measures, so the temperatures would be just fine for those cards as well. It does come with dual 8-pin versus the dual 8 and 6-pin that I've seen on others, and copper heat pipes, decent fin stack, all that good stuff to keep this GPU temps within check. Now, while running Unigine Heaven in a loop, we saw the base temperature around 65C. We saw that the hotspot temperature was around 76, 77C, somewhere in there. Core voltage got up to 1.037, and we were pulling roughly 140 watts while Unigine Heaven was on a consistent loop. That's not from the wall. I know that is software. I didn't bust out the watt meter, not for gaming performance. But while this card comes with dual 8 pins, I was able to run it on an 8-pin plus a 6-pin because it's not drawing that much juice, even with the soft power play tables. As you can see here, everything in MSI in the bottom right is stock clocks. So this card performs relatively similar to the reference design, and it's going to be very ever so slightly at the same level. And what I mean ever so slightly is this is the stock reference, and I know Time Spy is not indicative of every gaming scenario out there, but as you can see, we got an overall score of 8178, and the graphics score, which is the important one, was 7838. And then with the AsRock at stock clock, same thing as reference, out of the box experience, we got an ever so slightly better overall score of 8202 and a GPU score or graphics score of 7881. So in short, those numbers don't really mean anything. The point is that the reference and the add-in board partners, performance-wise, are equal. The difference is cooling and noise output. So if you don't want a bunch of noise, but you want to get decent performance, then the add-in board partners is going to be perfectly fine. Drivers are still being optimized. There's still issues with the drivers, so they're releasing update after update. I believe we're on 19.8.2 right now, so we're still waiting on that. But with the soft power play tables or the more power tool, I was able to stretch out this card's legs a little bit more while keeping temps very cool. Now, for example, let's see here. This is Time Spy with a core clock towards the 2000 range. So here it is in the top right. I don't know if you can see it past my bulbous head, but it's the boost clock is set at 2058, and the graphics score went up to 8916. Now the temperatures, which are not recorded in this screenshot, were adequate because on the reference design I was hitting 110 on the GPU hotspot, while on this card I was getting 96, 98 depending on the workload and how long that workload was running for. Here's the backplate, by the way. It is metal, but if that backplate does not entice you, then be aware of that. The PCB doesn't stretch just like the other add-in board partner cards. Doesn't stretch the full length of the GPU, but it will do the job just like the reference card with a lower noise output and better temp. So if that's what you want and you're okay with that, then go for that. Same technology, you know, iFinity technology, PCIe 4.0, same everything, just with a better, cooler design. That's why a lot of the tech tubers said, please wait for the add-in board partners, because you're going to get better cooling. As the reference designs, especially with the soft power play tables, were getting really, really high. So overall, this card is okay. The build quality is mediocre. If we go 1 to 5 is the scale. Build quality, I'll give it a 3, especially since how I got it and the noise that I was hearing when I first installed it in the system, which I'm going to show you right now. In order for me to fix that, I actually had to tighten up there was a screw that was loose on the bracket side of the GPU. I tightened that up and then it went away. But that was kind of annoying for somebody to get that card and have the fan. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe something happened in shipping. But that was a little bit of annoying. So the build quality 3. Fans aren't as easily replaceable as the Sapphire GPU, which is unfortunate. I wish GPUs would take into account that kind of design. I'm not sure it's proprietary or patent, but that's really nice that you can easily swap out those fans really quick with their pin design and, you know, one screw. Doesn't have a dual BIOS. Color scheme could have been better. I don't know why AsRock chose this color scheme, but it does not match a lot of systems. In my personal opinion or my experience, yellow isn't in a lot of systems. Maybe you have a yellow system, great for you, but they should have went with a more, you know, black, silver, monochromatic tone. Pros, though, is the heating element is perfectly adequate. You know, we got the 4 copper heat pipes, fin stacks, dual fans. So we're going to keep the temperatures of this card nice and cool and not produce a lot of noise out of it. So the card's just fine. If I were you, I would recommend going with the power color with the dual BIOS switch, or the Sapphire card. Gigabyte's a good choice. I'm sure Asus, if one isn't out by the time you're watching this video, will come out with one shortly. But within the price bracket, the Challenger, especially for the RX 5700, this thing was only $359, $10 more than the reference design. So if you don't have the money to get the reference card and put in a decent water block, then an add-in board partner is going to be your next best thing. So make your choice wisely. Hopefully, if you got any good information out of this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment below, especially if you want me to do a teardown on this card. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.